Welcome reading 2. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just going to say that when I saw the clary sage, when I realized that the essential oils were going to be the representation of the energy, I'm not kidding you. I felt such old medicine with you guys, like really old medicine. And for that being said, I thought I would bring you in with me because it's legal where I live. And so if you like to partake in any type of cannabis or, a glass of, something to drink that is healthy or whatever it is, let us come together, have some tea, a beverage, whatever, but you can even pause this and come back and and then we'll do this together. But I feel like going down this rabbit hole with you, this ceremony, this literally feels like ceremony. And one of my shamans that I walked with was an actual pipe bringer. She's a Native American pipe bringer, and that's what she brings, the tobacco, the medicine. It's really powerful, and she does pipe ceremonies, and that's what I kind of felt like from you guys. And so I felt like I wanted to honor you and share this with you. And also, my lighter is a dragon and it wanted to come in. So I feel like we've got some like really powerful energies here. So are you ready? Let's do this together. Oops, hold on. We're smoking the peace pipe together. See how it's smoking. Yeah, we're having the peace pipe together. So don't be afraid of using plant medicine, my beautiful soul family. Please don't be afraid of using the plant medicine, okay? Hold on, I'm going to put this somewhere safe. One of the worst things is bong water. I love cannabis. It's a beautiful plant, but I do not like the residual. Or I don't like that if, if it spills, it's really stinky. So, clary sage. We are going to work with clary sage and this spirit animal. But as you know, if you've ever worked with cannabis, sometimes it takes a minute for it to like kick in. So you may hear me kind of like shift and change a little bit. I usually do ceremony before each reading. You know what I mean? And then I start. So right now they're having me look something up and it's coming in. Okay. So hold on one moment. Baba's here. Baba, you want to say hi? Those of you who know Baba, she is my powerful familiar, very, very witchy familiar. And so she was outside and now she wanted to come in for your reading. And she just wanted to say hello. So clary sage is one of the most powerful cleansers on the planet. I want you to research it. It's really important that you research it on your own, Spirit said, because there's many facets for it. I feel like for you guys, like the other one, we really, really talked about the rosemary. So like if you were drawn to that, then I would highly suggest you go and look at it. But it's kind of weird because I was looking in my books. I didn't even research it first because I was like, I have so many books on like herbs and things like that. And so I just assumed that it was in there. But now I'm looking at it while I'm talking to you. Hold on. So I'm going to go, hold on. Okay, so silly as this may sound, by the way, Baba's eating. I always say, take that as a compliment. That means she feels so comfortable with you that she can just like sit here and eat. And I live in a tiny home, so my workspace is like literally like 3 feet from her bowl. So carry on, Baba, carry on. But you'll hear it in the background. Anyway, so there's like basic sage and then there's clary sage. And I don't know if this is why it's named that. Like, don't quote me. I don't know. I really thought it was going to be in the books. I'm like, oh shit. But when this happens, I know it's because you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here to literally like drop off the breadcrumbs. In fact, I never really even like thought there was a major difference between the sages. By the way, it's not a plug for doTERRA. My friend is a doTERRA person and like we do trade all the time. And I love their products, but just saying, it's not a plug. But the clary sage is exactly that. I feel like their sage, like the like regular sage, always smells kind of like musty to me, but I love sage in food. And clary sage is more like, I like the burning of it because it has like a clarity. Like right now, I took a pause and I took a sniff of it. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm literally working with it while I'm talking to you. So it's for you to look up, but I am going to tell you like things about sage, the actual plant that it comes from. Okay. So it's in the masculine energy. It's ruled by Jupiter. The element is air. The powers are immortality, longevity, wisdom, protection, and wishes. It says sage has been utilized to ensure a long life, sometimes even immortality. This is done by eating some of the plant every day, or at least in May, for he who would live for A must eat sage in May. It's like this is an old book, but do you see that? And it says, sage is carried to promote wisdom, and the leaves are used in countless healing and money spells. To guard yourself against contracting the dreaded evil eye, wear a small horn filled with sage. There are a few curious gardening tips concerning sage. First, it is bad luck to plant sage in your own garden. Interesting. A stranger should be found to do the work. Second, a full bed of sage brings ill luck, so ensure that some other plant shares the plot. Incidentally, toads love sage. Wow. Okay, so that's crazy. I wasn't laughing, making fun of it. I just feel like this, to me, I can see why some people don't like Scott Cunningham for this kind of stuff, because I don't believe in that. I believe if you are connected to a sage plant, it's like, you know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of things that's just me personally. You know, some people, I feel like if you believe in that, then it's true. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you love sage and you're a gardener and you love to grow herbs, I mean, if you feel like you want to, you know, be like, hey, buy me an herb, bring it to me, you know, sure. People used to say that about tarot cards. You're not supposed to buy your own cards. Someone's supposed to gift them to you. So, I mean, you know, it's really what you believe in. I'm not going to tell you what to believe in. But I will tell you that one of the other readings, the frog is in there. So if you were drawn to one of the other readings, I swear, I feel like one, I was meant to say all that on top of that, but then also it means you're meant to go look at that one. And it makes sense because I'm just going to tell you, it was reading one, because if you were drawn to reading one and you were like not sure why, like rosemary, clary sage, that makes sense because they're both really protective herbs and they are both really old herbs. And that's what I feel like you guys, like you feel like old medicine people to me. But I felt the same way with reading one, but there was a lot of like great wisdom and advice for the next 3 years for Saturn and Pisces. So like if you were really drawn to that, I would go watch it. I think there was a lot of pearls for all of us in there. I feel like almost all of us can watch one, you know what I mean, and use the frog spirit animal as our guide. So you know, and then there's all these other little things you can do, like with sage leaves, you know, for spells. But I feel like spells are so personal. So if you like to do spells, then I would say, you know, by the way, these two cards were in one of my books, and I just bought this deck in January and it's now March. So anyway, I feel like we're going to get to these because I'm like, these cards have got to be for somebody, because they were stuck in the book and I didn't even know they were in there. And when I went to open the book, they fell out and I was like, ooh, who are these going to be for? So just now I went to get something out of the book and they fell out. So clearly they are for you. And I feel like this lamp wants to move over here, or I don't know. I feel like the lighting wants to shift. Also, please drink some water. So hold on, I'm going to get to the page. Okay, so this is super fun. When I went to look up sage, there's a bunch of different page numbers. This is another book. Same author, different book. The first book was like their original book, like from the 70s. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like back then, like they were doing their best to try and guide anyone who would use that book for witchcraft or healing through that, you know, purpose. But I feel like you guys are like old medicine like me, where you know the difference, you know, you understand like spells and witchcraft, and you understand like what that means, and karma and boundaries and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I went to look, and there's so many different numbers that I was like, what's their number on there? Because each of these spirit animal cards have a number. And I was like, what's the number? And they said it's on the card. So before we read about the sage, I'm going to show you your animal. So this is the spirit animal. If you choose to, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to walk with and use the medicine of this spirit animal over the next 3 years. Wow, sorry, I live by a freeway. That was a really big truck. Interesting. I feel like that's going to come into the reading. Okay, here we go. Oh, the links. But they're upside down. So that's interesting. Number 18, the links, which is also the number 9. So let's see if there's anything affiliated with 18 or 9. Oh my gosh. You know what's interesting, you guys? When I looked at it, the page numbers were 74, 90, 96. I can go on and on. But my eyes were drawn to 90. So it's to me, it's no accident that you, right when I heard 9, I looked down, I saw 90. So we're going to go to 90. We're going to see what it says there. Wow. Okay, 2 things. That bookmark, I knew it was going to be for somebody. I had no idea it was going to be for you. And also, when I went to unpause, it was at exactly 11 minutes. Oh, when I looked down, it was 11:11. You guys are really powerful. You're so powerful. I'm so excited for you. The next 3 years are going to be the bomb diggity. But listen, if you are in any of the mutable signs or have them heavy in your chart, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, or Sagittarius, you take heed to this warning from Spirit that you have a mission that's grander and greater than others, because it is in how you choose to respond to other people who are going to freak the fuck out, because they are going to in the next 3 years. A lot of change is going to happen on the planet. So much is happening. If you didn't watch the intro video to these readings, I highly suggest you do. Please research or go to Braca Goldsmith's page on YouTube. Please go to stylecaster.com and read their astrology reports. Like, there's a lot of cool things that are happening. I had to take a hiatus, a break from astrology for a few months, just because I just needed to be for a minute. But now that I'm coming back in, I just forgot how much I love it and how much it really does align with our each design and our own plan. And for you guys, do you see how I didn't finish coloring that? When I saw those at the library, they were everywhere, all over the counters. And I was like, what are those? They were just black and white, And she goes, oh, they're coloring bookmarks. And she goes, oh, you've never seen those? She goes, yeah, the kids love them. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, is it weird if I take one of each one? She's like, no, absolutely. You could take one of each one. There was 4 different kinds. And I loved them. And some I colored in and some I didn't. Some and this one I loved because it never finished, and it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to stay like that. And I had so much fun doing it. And you guys know I talk about coloring all the time. And I thought about what really made me happy when I was a child, and it was coloring. And I have found over the since last summer, it's, in real time, it's March 7th, 2023. But if you've been following me for a while, I live off grid right now. And we're in the process of, building our dream home. And in June of 2022, we were homeless. I mean, I always say home free to make it cute, but we were really genuinely homeless. It was a really unique, I don't want to say scary, because it was, but I don't want to bring that into it, because it also became the most powerful time of my life. And I learned so much. 1330. I learned so much about myself, so much about my family, so much. I mean, the last year has been more than I could have ever hoped for. And so, sometimes we have to go through struggle and strife to get to the beautiful design in life. So if you are looking for, something different, I mean, look at the links, look at the way they have their eyes laser fucking focused. And I feel like Spirit is see how they're laser focused on their design? They're laser focused on their dream. They're laser focused. And the reason why I feel like this particular, bookmark came out and the coloring came out is I feel like for some of you, that's exactly what it is. You need to design something. You either started something, or you want to start something, or you did start something and you left it off. And I feel like this is the time. And I feel like some of you too, I don't care if it was when you were a child or something that you left behind 5 years ago, but I feel like there's something that you were dreaming of, something that you were hoping for, something that you wanted so bad, and you still want it. And I have the chills all over my body, and Spirit saying, now is the time. Now is the hour. You have the strength and you have the power, but you have to stay laser focused. Just because it didn't happen then doesn't mean it won't happen now. And if you do follow astrology, or even if you've always just known about it, but didn't know much about it. The beautiful thing about astrology is it shows us that the universe is ever changing, but we have to like kind of get into the ebbs and flows, right? Like if you fight against the current, it can make you stronger, right? Because you have to gain stronger muscles to fight the water because you can't fight it, right? That's like you don't just that's why lifeguards, especially ocean lifeguards, they're super buff. They have to be really strong. They have to be strong swimmers, and they have to be strong in physical body to be able to not only pull themselves but pull the other person back to shore. So this is the oxygen mask theory. If you don't stay laser focused on like your gifts and you're like, this is your time. And the Saturn, like, I can't get my eyes off of your eyes, and I see you and I'm proud of you. And Spirit is saying, stay fucking focused. And if you've lost your focus, this is your green light to get back into it. My eyes went down to this green here. Like this, it's time for you to get back in there. The spirit animals are really working with us. If you notice, since 2023 began, because we need their medicine, we need their teachings. They are so wonderful, and they're so generous in their gifts, you know. And if you watch, so your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to walk with the links over the next 3 years. The number 18 is going to be significant to you if it isn't already. It could be on multiple things. It could be something where, you know, you get enough, you know, guts to move, and you're looking at places and you're not sure. And then you look at this one place and you're like, oh my God, I love it. And it like, the view is amazing, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, that you don't even notice it, right? Because you're talking to the landlord walking up there, and you're not even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden the door, you turn around, you're like, this is my home, and the door's open and the light's hitting it, and it's fucking apartment number 18. You know what I mean? It's going to be something like that for real. So it's going to be significant in your life if it isn't already. It's a lucky number for you. It could be something where you need to choose something and it's like such odd numbers or whatever, and you're like 18 and you wouldn't before, but you're like, the links is like, yes, because the links is going to give you the breadcrumbs along the way over the 3 years. It's going to be giving you little breadcrumbs here and there. Also, this little sachet we were talking about in the sage, right? We were talking about how, you know what, actually I can move this a little bit more like that. There we go. Ooh, sorry, my loves. I got a little carried away. Right? But like getting real clary sage, though, that's been sourced, you know, well, that has no pesticides, no bullshit, right? And creating your own medicine bag and carrying it with you. Some people, I wore my medicine bag every day for years. Then I got to the point where I only wear it when I'm working or when I'm like going out somewhere that it may be a little tough. Like one of the last times I went to the grocery store, Spirit pulled me to wear my medicine bag, and the owner of the store has a therapy dog there for the customers. And so I was called to do Reiki on the dog for like a half an hour, you know? So it's like, you don't know. So you're going to be bringing the medicine's going to be coming to you, and this is the time that you get to redesign your life and come back to self. So I'm going to go to page 90 where they spoke of sage. Ooh, that's so interesting. Also, if some of you were drawn to reading 4 Spearmint, my eyes just were drawn to that as well. If it's not, don't make it your medicine. If it's not your medicine, you know what I'm saying. But so sage is an earth energy. So I'm hearing so some of you may be earth signs, or you're dealing with earth signs. Oh, Virgo, interesting. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. So you remember we were talking about the mutable signs. So for earth, air, fire, and water, we have, which they say that in the book, but in technical color, like if you look at it through astrology, it's actually fire is first, because Aries is the first house. That's where it all starts. So it's fire. So it's actually fire, earth, air, water. And so for the earth signs, we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you may be that sign, or you may be dealing with that sign, or that may be somebody who's going to help you, somebody who has that sign or has that sign somewhere in their chart. Will you guys hold on? So they wanted me to tell you that in this book, it says, these are the these are the key words for the next 3 years for your focus. See how like laser focused the links is? Fertility, jobs, promotions, money, business, investments, material objects, agriculture, health foods, ecology, conservation, stock market, antiques, old age, museums, buildings, construction, and progress. Those are the earth energies that are going to be, wow, you guys, my whole body just got so fucking grounded. Like I feel like I am tied to the planet right now. Because it's interesting. That is in Scott Cunningham's second book. In the first book, they speak of sage as being the element of air. So Virgo, today in real time, it's a full moon in Virgo, right? Whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But Saturn just went into Pisces this morning. They literally were less than an hour apart when they were when the full moon was at its peak and when the Saturn in Pisces was coming in. And so I feel like for you guys over the next 3 years, like slow and steady wins the race. I'm feeling turtle energy too. So slow and steady wins the race. Just stay laser focused. You don't have to go faster. Like the whole thing with the Clary Sage is, like I said, I feel like you guys are like old master medicine. So, the energy on the planet's going to speed up, but it's for you to stay really slow and focused. And if you're an air sign and you're easily, mutable, right? Like, because it's like the 4 signs that are mutable are Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. It's the earth, air, fire, and water of the energies that are going to really be focused. They're going to be think of them as the stars of this Saturn and Pisces revolution, because that's what it is. It's really going to be a revolution, and it's going to be revolutionary for you guys to really find yourself, to find your inner artist, to design your life, to have enough guts and courage to design your life and to use the energy of the links to do it. Also, the gender that they point out, the original gender of Sage is masculine, and it's ruled by the planet Jupiter. And if I'm not 100%, but I think Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So that is very interesting too. So for our Sag family, interesting to know, okay? But it's about immortality, longevity, wisdom, protection, and wishes. So this is the time for you to put those wishes out into the world, right? Sage is carried to promote wisdom, and the leaves are used in countless healing and money spells, and to guard yourself against contracting the dreaded evil eye, wear a small horn filled with sage. So, I mean, the fact that they're bringing that up again, there's something to that with you guys. But to keep that grounding energy, also look up Saturn, research Saturn. I do have it in my book here. Okay, hold on. They want me to get it. Holy shit, I just opened right up to it. Okay. Woo! So these are the key. So those are the keywords of the earth energy that they want you to stay close to, right? Like, I feel like you need to keep this reading. That's why I put them on links. I swear there's so much. Oh, I didn't even put that together to this moment. But if you look in the description box, all of my, you find them by the links. They have me do it on purpose because, sometimes they have me put them out instead of just in one, like pick a timestamp or something like that. You know what I mean? They do it for a reading oh my gosh, for a reason. What is happening? I feel like they're taking over my mouth. So in your case, I feel like keeping the link to this reading is going to be really vital for you over the next 3 years to keep coming back. It's like your source of like information. Now, of course, you're going to do all of your own information. I want you to. Spirit wants you to. They want you to research more. I'm giving you, that's why I'm even talking fast, because there's so much to tell you and so much to give you. But I feel like you already know. You're ready to step into your warrior. You're ready to step into your medicine person. And so the links is saying, yep, you got it. Like, don't take your fucking eye off that ball for a second. You stay focused in it. You live your life. You talk the talk and you walk the walk, and you step away from things and people and certain situations and circumstances that don't align with your greatest and highest good anymore. Saturn and Pisces is going to bring you to a new level that you've never even witnessed before. I mean, I've already been feeling it. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but it's really, really spectacular. So keep those keywords for that earth energy, because it's going to be different. That's why they had me speak of so many different things, because it's going to affect all of you differently. The old age was like, that one like really like jumped out to me. I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because I feel like I am like, I'm 51, like I'm in this really cool place at the beginning of my crone, and I feel so blessed to have had like all of these lessons, and I'm excited to just keep moving forward and share them with the world. So Saturn, now these are the keywords for Saturn, okay? And before I even get into that, remember that the Pisces energy is all about spirituality, dreamy, like our dreams, our wishes, our hopes. It's about seeing through the water. The fact that we're going to be in a very heavy water energy for 3 years, it says everything. If you didn't watch that reading, like I said at the intro, I spoke with Braca Goldsmith, was talking about that. I've been feeling that too, like this really like intense water energy where just a lot of shit's about to change. A lot of shit's about to go down. And people are just going to like wake up so fast and they're just going to know what to do. They're going to be like, I've been doing this my whole life, but I didn't realize this was a spiritual practice. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if it's a rug weaver who's been like, they're like, oh my gosh. And then they realize it's like Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off, or all of a sudden they're going to be able to do these like, healing thing. You know what I mean? It's just really powerful and it's exciting, and spirit wants you to be excited about it. But, also not oblivious to that the world has to change around us. And in order for that to do that, shit has to break through and break down. So hold your ground, hold your steady, hold your focus, because these are the key words for Saturn: structure, purpose, identity, challenges, perceived limitations, authority figures, commitment, responsibility, hard work, and the three, my favorite, boundaries, discipline, and karma. The next 3 years are going to be about closing old chapters, looking forward to the future. The earth is going to fix itself. A lot of shit's going to go down. There are a lot of people who have come into power of authority that are like, nope, no more. Nope, you've had your chance. Nope, we're moving on. Nope, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, and shit's going to get real. So we're going to read a little bit from the links and then we will be done. Okay, so each spirit animal, throat chakra, speak your truth. Each spirit animal has their own word or phrase that describes them. In this book, in the Native Spirit Medicine, the Lynx keyword is secrets. And their poem says, Lynx, you know the secrets so very well, the dream time and the magic, but you'll never tell. May I learn to hold my tongue, observe like the Sphinx, powerful yet silent, the medicine of Lynx. And since it was in contrary, I must read it to you. 2715, very vital angel number for you. Clear that throat and you use your throat chakra. You work with your throat chakra over the next 3 years. That is your focus, to speak your truth and stand your ground. It says, if Lynx has appeared in the reverse position, it is time to shut your big mouth. Sometimes, I thought it said sometimes, it said something. Something you are jabbering about has let the cat out of the bag. Are you defiling a sacred trust, or have you broken a promise to a friend? If not, you may have pulled a good prank on yourself by blabbing your latest idea to the friend of a competitor. Watch your tongue and see if you are able to refrain from gossiping or talking about your latest romantic conquest. Look and see if, in your present state, you are able to listen and truly be interested in someone else's stories or ideas. On this level, Lynx is telling you to become worthy of trust. Then the secrets will be available to you. You might look at choosing to have your brain in gear before your babble starts, or your foot may have to replace your tongue. This is the know-it-all syndrome. Fine. If you want to talk, just sew up your ears. After all, talking leaves no room for hearing or learning. Lynx is a tough teacher, and if you have let the cat out of the bag, be ready for the consequences. Become Lynx and wear the Mona Lisa smile. Only you will know what you are smiling about. The cat will not have your tongue. You will, as well as the power over it. Now, I saw like the Cheshire cat, right? So now this medicine isn't for everybody, right? It's a verbal spanking. It's more of a warning. It's more of like, for some of you, if it did hit you in your ego, then that's what you need to work on. And that's okay, right? Take yourself out of it emotionally and look at what you need to learn. I've been through it. I've been like, I know everything, until I finally started to realize that even now, even though I know more than a lot, I know nothing. You know what I mean? There's so much more to learn and there's so much more to grasp. And even if we know the medicine of the animal or we know the medicine of the plant, if we're not utilizing that energy and that medicine, then it's like, right? It's like having the medicine on the table and you're just looking at it. But unless you actually drink the medicine, you're never going to get better. And it's kind of like that. Like you need to step out of your comfort zone. And for some of you, if you're like, oh, I'm a Reiki master, some people, and I don't fault that. Like if if you're proud of your titles, then you fucking put that out there, right? But I feel like in my experience, the most powerful shamans I ever worked with were the ones that would never give themselves a title, let alone shaman. When I even use it, it's a loose based title for teacher. That's all it is. And so I am just here bringing the medicine to you. So am I a teacher or am I a medium? I'm both, because I have my own things that I put in, but I also am channeling the messages from the divine, or whatever label you want to put on it, right? And in this situation, the links is like, if you want to walk the walk, you have to talk the talk and mean it and live it. And the links will look you right fucking dead on and say, tell the truth. Stop lying to yourself and others. That's like, I saw that Marianne Williamson was running for office again. I'm excited for that. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want people to put her on some spiritual pedestal either. She's still just a person. And there are things that I align with her. And there are other things with her I don't align with. So it's like, I don't vote anymore. I worked in politics and all that, but I'm not drawn to vote, at least not now. If I ever am, Spirit will let me know. But I haven't. Last election was the first one I didn't vote in, because I'm like, I'm not voting for two lessers of two evils. I'm like, I'm just not doing it, or any of it. I was just like, I can't. I just had to step away completely. And I feel like that's like you guys, like, get real and get serious about everything, from like who you vote for to what you wear. Like, walk the walk. Be who you are. Don't just talk about it. When I started to put this pile together, I'm like, you guys are old. This is old medicine. You don't have time to be pompous or arrogant or run with ego. Align with the links. And remember, I said that you guys had 2 cards. You were the only one so far that I was drawn to. And this is what I got from Spirit. Oh, so I'm going to put the anxiety here, because I feel like it was the top one. And then I'm going to push this candle back a little bit. Hold on. And then now we know Clary Sage. Thank you, Sage. And actually, I want to bring these down, because actually I don't want you to miss these words. So for some of you, it's almost like you're faking it till you make it. You have so much anxiety and so much stress that, look at them. She's missing the cup completely. She's not pouring the tea into the cup. She's completely missing it. She's got the moon up here and the stars, but she's like all looking off here. She's not sure what's going on, or they're not sure. It's very ambiguous. That could be a male or a female. So, but you just see that like kind of like anxiety. I feel like some of you are like hiding in your anxiety. But Spirit wants you to celebrate fiercely. And also, look at how you're encompassed by a tiger and a lynx. So the 2 spirit animals for you to work with and walk with during the Saturn and Pisces for the next 3 years on this journey is the lynx and the tiger. And to take the good with the bad, the light with the dark, because you have to take both. You don't need to live in the dark, though. See why she's spilling? It's black. It's dark. It's like an abyss. It's like it's like, where's it going? What's happening? So it's time for you to get laser focused. This does have a book and everything, and if I was meant to pull it out, I would. These are just like strictly, to talk to you. Also, it's the number 2 is anxiety, and interesting that number 1 in the deck is celebrate fiercely, and number 2 is anxiety. Oh, that's so interesting. And if you add them together, it's number 3. But look at how, and interesting too, we also have in this deck, they have a lot of different imagery, but interesting how we've got a cup and both of them hold water. And we were just talking about water and how vital, how, it's in Pisces season. So a lot's going to come to surface. So get laser focused so that you don't, because I feel like for some of you, you have the anxiety because you're doubting yourself. How many times do you get the intuition to do something, but you do the polar opposite? Don't do that anymore. Over the next 3 years, you are going to be strong and powerful. And I'm also feeling for some of you, if you don't have a cat, because Bubba came into this at the very beginning, I'm hearing that cat medicine would be really good for you. Maybe look into rescuing. Always go to a kill shelter first, right? Because they're going to kill them. And I'll tell you what, there is no animal that will be more fiercely loyal and celebrate life with you fiercely than a rescued animal. I am telling you. Because they're so grateful. They smell death. I found my familiar on the road. I still to this day don't know her whole full story, but I literally found her on the side of the road. But I'm telling you, when those animals are in that shelter, they know exactly what death smells like and they know that it's coming for them. So, go into and adopt an older cat if you can, a wise, a cat that will, walk with you and be your friend and be your familiar. I'm definitely feeling that for some of you. If you're afraid to be alone, maybe you have anxiety about being alone, then I'm hearing get yourself a fierce feline familiar, an FFF, a fierce feline familiar. Oh, you guys, I love you so much. What great wisdom, what wonderful, wonderful animals to walk with. Just take really good care of yourselves and each other. Take it one step, one breath, one moment at a time, not a second before. Stay focused, stay fierce. Like I said, research more. I could read you more on the links, like the upright position, but they wanted you to know the contrary because of the pitfalls that will lay before you. But you know what? They're only pitfalls if you don't have the trustful baby. Yeah. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get Pink's new album. Oh my gosh. I listened to like 4 songs and I'm already like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. So trustful, that song trustful, like, right? Like it's time for you to trust spirit and yourself and your intuition. You only have anxiety because you stopped believing and trusting in yourself, or maybe you never did. And now it's time that you do. Okay, you guys, all of my information is in the About section. Go in there if you've never been in there and take a gander, because there's a nice message from Spirit for all of us. I love you so much. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh.